January 9th, SS Burial, Miss Pavlova's cabin. Hey everybody, sup? We're back with more Great Ace Attorney. So, disclaimer before this happens. Before this episode occurs, I should say. This is a re-recording. Because I was originally recording this episode, and I made it almost to the end. I made it like over 30 minutes into the recording. And then OBS, the game, everything just went to crap and crashed on me, and I couldn't recover the video at all. So yeah, I know a lot of what happens here. I'm still gonna be playing through it like normal, though I know everything that happens in the next like half an hour or so. So yeah, I'm probably gonna skip over some optional dialogue just so I can get caught up to where I was faster. But yeah, let's get to it. Somehow, the door to the cabin we were in ended up bolted after we made an emergency stop. Susato-san took a deep breath, then gently slid back the bolt. Hey, y'all. Oh, also, I don't know if I said it before, but I need to apologize for my Russian accents, and just my accents in general, for voice acting. I am probably offending many people out there, and I apologize in advance if it is. I'm trying my best, but at the same time, I'm not used to doing accents. You, what are you doing in Miss Pavlova's quarters? Ah, you both look unhurt. Good. Yes, we're fine, thank you. What on earth happened? We heard something about how we were going to collide with another ship. Yes, it appears to have been a false report, though. Oh, how did that happen? There's a dense fog outside, so it's extremely difficult to see. Someone must have thought he saw a ship ahead. This person obviously triggered the alarm, and that's why we made an emergency stop. Everything is chaos. Passengers are screaming. Crew are running everywhere. This first class area is the only quiet part of the ship at the moment. Oh, I see. Someone triggered the alarm? Does that mean that someone pressed that button outside? Ah! You wicked intruder! Dressed all in black, you are the devil! Sorry, me? I've been called a lot of things before, but devil is a first. You opened my traveling case, how could you? What? No, we didn't touch it. That's right, Miss Pavlova. It was already open when we came into your room. Inspector! Yes? Arrest this man, I know he did it. He is a criminal. Is it not enough that he has killed a man? Duh! And he is stowaway as well. If Vixen promises not to steal chicken, do you believe? Take him away. He is trespasser as well as everything else. Stowing away, trespassing, killing. She is right, you are devil. Doesn't look good, does it? There is sail below deck. Throw him in. Tomorrow we dock in Hong Kong. Then we give you straight to police. Wait, a cell? Please, Inspector Hosonaga, is there nothing you can do? This is a Russian vessel. I really have no jurisdiction here. After my last effort to appeal to the captain's good nature, I think I'm out of options. This is terrible. This is a real crisis. I've got to find a solution. Immediately. Well, clearly the option is to run away. I somehow doubt we shall be able to leave here. Yeah, never mind. I guess that ain't gonna work. Hide in the closet. I just need to keep calm and focus on the task at hand, which is investigating. Don't touch my things! You want me to show you where crawfish hibernates? Hiya! Mr. Naruhodo, what do you think you're doing? Wow, everyone's attacking me. And I was just starting to think she was my friend. Okay, that was actually a piece of optional dialogue I hadn't seen before. Isn't there anyone who can help me out of this mess? Man, I wonder. I've already seen this, but all the random, like, places you see this man always get me. Hey, Sholmes, what are you doing? Just hanging about? What the? What are you doing up there? Mr. Sholmes? My man got a tiara. He's trying to look his, like, he wants to be a pretty princess, so let him be. Naturally, I was analyzing what a weight of 20,000 rubles felt like on one's head. Have I not told you that as a detective it is my business to know what other people do not? This isn't mere tomfoolery, my boy. Oh, no, no. Well, what were you hanging from that hook before? Why were you hanging from that hook before then? Isn't it obvious? To properly assess the weight of the 20,000 rubles, naturally. I wish to determine if it would bend that conceited-looking hook on the wall, so full of bragging bouts. And now I am boxing it. Watch me punch, my boy. 1, 2. Get him with the jab. I never know whether to take this man seriously or not. You again. The great detective. Ah, Inspector. I confess I've been looking for you. I have something to report to you most urgently. Well, you might try looking for me somewhere other than a hook on the wall next time. What is to report? Speak! An urgent report from a great detective can mean only one thing. Yes. The case of the curious murder that took place last night here on this vessel, the steamship Buria, has been solved. By me, naturally. What? Really? Yes, I have eliminated all other possibilities. No other explanation exists. So, allow me to illuminate all your minds. For I am about to reveal my great detective's greatly admired great deduction to the great case. I added one extra gradient there for good measure. Huh, you have solved it. Even the hedgehog understands the case. We all know who was responsible for killing student boy this morning when we found criminal in wardrobe. It is this stowaway, and he has handcuffs to prove it. I didn't do it. The trouble is, there doesn't appear to be anyone else who could have killed the victim. Because, as everyone knows, the cabin door was bolted shut from the inside. That means the culprit must be someone who was inside the cabin. Yes, it's what's called a locked room mystery in detective stories. Duh, locked room, that is point. The room was locked. Well, I can't deny that. There's no way the bolt could have been drawn across from outside the cabin. You are all quite mistaken. The cabin next door is not a so-called locked room at all. What? Oh yes, there is another entrance. An entrance used last night by the culprit in order to gain access to the cabin despite the bolted door. What other entrance? We never discovered one. Why, it gapes open-mouthed at you even as we speak. The ventilator man. The ventilator. You think this is funny? I cannot even put my arm through that hole. That's because your arms are as thick as the tree trunks. You're suggesting that the culprit entered and left the victim's cabin through that tiny opening. It's not possible. Ah, but it is. And last night, the victim even witnessed the intruder in the act of passing through the ventilator. Mr. Sholmes, do you mean... Are you referring to the words Kazuma-sama wrote in his diary? I can hear a faint whistling noise. What looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. Precisely, my dear madam. But what does it mean? What is the speckled band? The answer to that particular conundrum is in this very cabin. Mr. Sholmes, why are you boxing in the air? It was a distinct element of danger, but fear not, I am ready. What I am about to expose for you all to see will shock you to your cores. Behold! Yeah! Ah! What the... Hello there. Well, you seem to have been caught by surprise, Stroganov. I can't blame you. After all, it was slithering about the place. Allow me to introduce you all to the band, the Speckled Band. Man, I wish I could show you what my original reaction to this was. A snake? Indubitably. Mr. Sholmes, just one thing. Pray, what troubles you? Well, that snake isn't really speckled, is it? It looks more stripy, wouldn't you say? Hmm? Yes, you're right. I think in this case you'd have to call it the striped band, wouldn't you? You both see and observe with distinction. However, do you not think that is precisely the trap into which the culprit wishes you to fall? Oh my goodness, really? It's a trap? Susato, how do you keep falling for these one-liners of his? How exactly? I think perhaps it is time I explain the intricacies of my train of thought. Are you ready, Miss Pavlova? I'm sorry for the young man who died, but that is all. His death has nothing to do with me. This whole thing has nothing to do with me. There are two conclusions I have drawn from the facts. Number one. Last night, your friend infiltrated the victim's cabin. Number two. This definitely does have something to do with you. And number two. That same friend was responsible for the victim losing his life. No. She's turned as white as a bowl of rice. Again. I accidentally turned on autoplay. Oh no. Sholmes must be right. He's hit the nail on the head. This young woman's friend killed Mr. Asogi. Oh good, I don't have to do a Russian accent for the moment. Looks like he can't speak if that snake coiled around his head. I mean, certainly makes your job easier, Ryunosuke. I would advise as little movement as possible, Seaman. You wouldn't want the veins of that long friend in your neck. He said seaman. So, everyone, let us begin. Sherlock Holmes, sorry. Don't know what came over me there. Is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. And the curtain rises. The great deduction. I am getting a sip of water right now. Miss Pavlova, moments ago you claimed the following. His death has nothing to do with me. This whole thing has nothing to do with me. Yet you cannot deceive yourself. Yes, when you recall those horrid events, your aching heart smarts with pain. And it is that very pain that evidences your inextricable link to the victim's death. So, we ask, what was the nature of this intruder that stole into the victim's cabin on that portentous night? Well, naturally, it was the friend with which you boarded this vessel, was it not? Ah, as I suspected, another telltale glance. Without doubt, your friend is the writhing serpent we see before us. And yet, that fact leaves us in a quandary. The victim's written observations on the night in question tell of a speckled band. However, this one is striped, and it is also currently trying to bite me. However, I am in the foreground, and it is in the background. Therefore, it cannot reach me. Whereas, regrettably, this specimen's markings do not fit the description in any way. What explanation can we then give, pray? What was this sight that fell upon the victim's eyes last night?
No, don't look at me. This has nothing to do with any of this.
Oh, but it does. You have the answer to this quandary even now, hidden behind your back. Yes, that which you are trying but failing to conceal can only be the snake's slow skin. Evidently, after the subtle and horrible crime, this most deadly friend of yours shed its original skin, no?
I don't know what you are talking about.
Last night, through the ventilator visible in this cabin, your then speckled friend slithered next door. Using the bell cord on the other side as a bridge, the serpent silently descended into the victim's quarters. In the dim light, it appeared to the young gentlewoman who was about to lose his life. I said gentlewoman, sorry, I meant gentleman, who was about to lose his life as a speckled band. In summary, the nature of this friend of yours, which last night infiltrated the scene of the crime, is a rare breed of snake whose markings change each time it slows its skin. A snake so dreadful we can only imagine it would be found in the deepest depths of India. Conclusion. A beloved speckled snake. Blah 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 blah. Moving on, we come to the heart of the matter. The grim demise of the victim. How did this young man lose his life, and why? According to the data of which I have been apprised, it would appear there were no visible signs of injury. In fact, the circumstances of the victim's death can only be explained by a terrible venom. Now, if we take that as a fact, we can reasonably imagine that there remains evidence to affirm it at the scene of the crime.
Oh no, could there be?
Yes, an examination of the deceased's body will prove the cause of death conclusively. The almost but not quite imperceptible puncture wounds left by the venomous fangs will seal the truth. Yes, the vestiges of the snakebite delivered by our terrifying friend.
This makes no sense.
There is no point feigning ignorance, Miss Pavlova. After the incident, you endeavored to hide everything, didn't you? But now your involuntary glance betrays the hiding place you chose. That's right, you hid the evidence that links you to the victim's death in that traveling case. When we first met in this cabin, it came to my attention that your case moved periodically. Your serpent assassin was restless inside, no doubt.
You don't...
It is telling that the victim made note of a low whistling sound that he heard minutes before his end. That was your signal, was it not? The sound you would use to train your serpent friend.
To train?
Indeed. You'd put the serpent through this ventilator and wait. After a period, you'd summon it back with the stock sound effect of a whistle. You couldn't know if the animal had done its duty, so you would listen for signs of life next door. If the victim appeared not to have been dispatched, you release the snake once more. Do you deny the snake has undergone such training?
It's not true.
Having slithered through the ventilator and down the bell cord, the creature needed only to sink its fangs in once. And its venom would course through the victim's veins, ending his existence forever. That is the true nature of the speckled band that took the poor young man's life. There can be no doubt my logic is infallible. Conclusion: death by a venomous snake's bite. Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of the speckled band. Now it is your turn, Mr. Naruhodo. After a few words from our sponsor. Wait, we don't have a sponsor? Alright, fine, moving on with the dialogue. Miss Pavlova has trained her pet snake as a killing machine. There on the floor you will observe a saucer of milk. The promise of food is the key to training any creature. Incredible. You've solved the mystery. Amazing, your great deduction really lives up to its name. I see now why Herlock Sholmes has become such a household name. My dear man, it was nothing remarkable. As the Russians say, I could have done it with one left hand.
Could I venture an opinion, Mr. Sholmes?
But of course, what's on your mind?
It's just about your deductions before. Some things don't quite make sense to me.
I welcome questions to my methods, and will answer them both loudly and proudly.
Oh, okay, well, good. First of all, how much stuff do you have written in that book? Snakes are egg-laying creatures, part of the reptile family.
You are well informed, madam.
And the reptiles, don't drink milk.
Ah.
It's really only mammals that like to drink milk, you see. So, I'm not sure it would be possible to train a snake using milk as a reward.
No matter. No doubt Miss Pavlova used some other treat to encourage her pet to do her bidding. Milk was merely an example. The logic holds.
Well, there is something else. Snakes have no ears.
Ah.
Yes, yes, sorry, I sounded like you for a second, Mr. Sholmes. I have no idea what that was. Yes, so I'm not sure it would really be possible to signal to a snake by whistling.
But madam, what of the tales from Arabia? Have you not heard of the snakes that dance to the sounds of a flute?
I think perhaps the performers play their music in time with the snake's natural movements.
Oh, I see. No hands, no feet, no ears. These creatures are so inept to be practically useless. Don't take it out on the snakes, Mr. Sholmes.
There is one other thing.
You have more?
Snakes use the scales on their bellies to propel themselves. So, I'm not really sure that a snake could manage to climb up a flat bell cord like the ones in these cabins.
Then it should try harder.
Please, don't be angry with me, Mr. Sholmes. The point is, even if the snake had gone through the ventilator to the next door cabin, it couldn't have come back without help. What I'm trying to say is that there are a number of reasons why it's difficult to imagine the snake could have had a part in this. Ugh. More ellipses. And yet more ellipses, I bet. I was correct. I think we need to step in and help again, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh no, you don't mean... I said this when I first did this recording. But I like how he says, oh no, you don't mean, as if it's a bad thing, when I'm pretty sure the most happy Ryunosuke ever has looked in this game is when he's doing... when he's correcting Sholmes' deductions. Yes, we need to modify Mr. Sholmes' latest deductions and turn them into the great ones they ought to be. I had a feeling that was coming. Oh boy, I'm so excited. Alright, let's give it a try. Just what I was waiting for, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, right. Now if only I could actually point and stuff. I'm still tied up. Oh wait. So cast your eyes down to your wrists again. What? Oh, what do you know? They're gone again. You've done it again. It's almost like they didn't... It's almost like they remove it just because they don't... Just because they want him to be able to point during these things, the deductions. Your handcuffs are gone. Where do they go? Fear not, I shall see they're restored after our work is done. I really wish you'd just leave them off. Now everyone, let us begin. Alright. Part 2. Course correction. The curtain rises yet again. Alright. Time to skip the dialogue because we have heard all of this before, and now we're to new stuff. She does have a pained expression on her face. Yes, that's true. She looks as though Kazuma-sama's death is weighing heavily on her mind. But you're not sure Mr. Sholmes has read her quite correctly, is that it? Could there be some other way to interpret her expression, then? Let's take a moment and really look closely at Miss Pavlova. You know, I said I wasn't going to do optional stuff. Wait, nope, save in another slot. I mean, I know we're only 28 minutes into this recording. I just don't want to risk anything going awry. Aching heart. What to do? Well, I know what all of the stuff is here, so let's do this. Kazuma, Mr. Asogi was my best friend. He says as he's smiling and pointing like a smug asshole despite the fact that his best friend is dead. So I know what an aching heart feels like, believe me. Haha, my best friend is dead. We all know what it feels like. The world has an aching heart for loved ones lost. This is not new dialogue. Dun dun dun. Yeah, I get it. Okay, and then right here. Despite being in the neighboring cabin, you failed to notice what was happening to Mr. Asogi next door. And for that, you can't forgive yourself, can you? A feeling I understand all too well. The guilt is bad enough, but Mr. Sholmes' accusatory words add salt to the wound and hurt your ears. That deduction is wanting in every way. I love it when Ryunosuke points like Sholmes. The fact that he just tries to, like, imitate him is real... I find it real adorable and cute. Alright, left ear. Yes! I'm pretty sure the dialogue is somewhat similar, but also not. Despite... Yeah. Okay, it's actually exactly the same, never mind. And now skipping because I need to reload in order to have my health back. Alright. Aching heart. What else we got? I know what the correct answer is. Newspaper. Oh, right, I forgot. We can do this as well.
Yes!
Oh, shit! Wait, no! I pressed the wrong button. I meant to just do a regular click. Here we go. She really does look troubled. Yes, it's hard to believe she's putting that expression on to fool us. But if you look closely, it's almost like she's actually staring at something. At what do you think? Perhaps something physically causing her pain. It's almost like we just saw it a few seconds ago. Okay, and then this. She has such petite ears among that beautiful hair, like little pink shells. Oh, what's that? There's something attached to her ear. I expect that's what they call an earring. It's a little piece of jewelry. An earring, is it? It really is tiny. Perhaps part of it is missing. Maybe it broke off. So now all that's left is the clasp part that attaches to the ear. If that's the case, she doesn't appear to have noticed that it's broken.
Yes!
Shit! Guys, I keep accidentally pressing R instead of just clicking like a regular person. Help. Yada 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 yada. There's something dangling down from her ear. Ah, that's an earring. The crescent moon part looks as though it's made from wood. It's charming, isn't it? Women do seem to love adornments like that. In their hair, around their necks, and on the fingers, and even hanging from their ears, it seems. Now, jewelry is beautiful, Naruhodo-san. And that's all. Okay, remember, Toby. Click. Oh, Naruhodo-san, look! That looks like a very painful wound. Looks like a scratch made by some kind of small animal. And fairly recently, too. Well, whatever scratched her doesn't appear to be around here. And ba-boom!
Yes!
The correct answer.
Yes, when you recall these horrid events, that claw scratch smarts with pain. Indeed, and simple observation reveals that the wound is fresh. Miss Pavlova, did you... Oh, shoot, that's Renosuke. Miss Pavlova, did you in fact receive that scratch? Sometime last night. Ah! When I think about the young man who died next door, I feel sad. And when I am sad, the pain from this wound is worse. And it is that very pain that evidences your inextricable link to the victim's death. And now we skip ahead, yet again, because this is all stuff we've already seen. Writhing Serpent. Rising Tiger. It seems likely that the scratch mark on the back of Miss Pavlova's hand was made by this friend of hers, doesn't it? Except... snakes don't have claws, do they? No, they don't. I think if a snake had claws, that'd probably be like, I don't know, some type of lizard? They don't even have hands or feet on which claws might grow. Well then. If that snake isn't her pet, what is? What's the true identity of this friend of hers? You should follow her gaze, Naruhodo-san. That's where we'll find the answer. And now I save again. Alright, what do we got? Ah yes, the seaman. Clearly. There's no doubt, is there? She looked in this direction. Straight at Seaman Stroganoff. Well, they do seem to be friends of sorts. But I can't imagine how he could possibly fit through the ventilator. Don't forget that I managed to fit inside Cosmo's trunk when we first boarded the ship. I would ask what that proves, but I think an equivocal little smile would be more effective. So clearly it's him, duh.
Yes.
Forget about how you could have brought him aboard in your case, or how he could fit through the ventilator. A true friend always finds a way for you. And what more dependable friend could you ask for than Seaman Beef Stroganoff? Yada yada. Alright, the snake. Let's go to the same conclusion as our dude. The more I look at this creature, the more its stripes stand out. It's a very impressive snake, isn't it?
Oh yes, it really is.
And it seems to be doing its best to squeeze this poor sailor's head until it bursts. Yes, it's a terrifying sight. Slightly heartwarming at the same time. Man, am I glad that this is just a portrait of me and that it isn't trying to bite me. Anyway, it would probably be a good idea not to get too close. Like my portrait.
Yes!
Yoink. With its deadly venom, the snake must be a tricky creature to befriend. But as a ballet dancer, you can't resist its graceful movements. Yes, you hope to learn the secrets of its slithery ways and add a serpentine slant to your performances. Are you quite concentrating? Are you daft, sir? You are quite a fool, Mr. Naruhodo. He's just like, hey, I've been called worse. The teapot. Look to the right. Man, I wonder what's the actual correct answer. I have a feeling that it was this teapot that Miss Pavlova's eyes flickered over to before.
You think this is the friend she's been talking about?
Well, we're all different, aren't we? Whatever we might say about it, if that's the way she feels.
I don't think I'll say anything about it then.
You and the teapot can discuss it instead. Wait, that's not what I meant.
Yes!
Yes, I know what you're thinking. What is this man talking about? Well, I'll tell you what I'm talking about. The truth. Yes, who could you have a more cozy relationship with than a shiny teapot? What spectacularly contrived logic led you to this mindless conclusion? Oh, well, it's supposed to be a logic and reason and spectacular, so I thought I'd contribute to the show. This is my show, Mr. Naruhodo. Kindly perform any peculiar experiments on your own stage. Sorry. Alright. Now load to get the real one. Alright. Gee, I wonder what else it could be. Can we get this? Can we just have a window be her friend? A chair? The hooks. I almost thought it was that. I almost thought I could have that as an option. Photograph frame. Ah, look at the photograph in this frame. It's a kitty. Wait a second. It is a bell. Yo, hold up. The frickin' pink piece of glass that's in Kazuma's room. Don't tell me. Is that like half of a bell? Sorry. Just theorizing. By the way, I haven't gotten past this part. This is where I got cut off. This is where the recording corrupted last time. This must be something Miss Pavlova brought with her when she ran away.
She's exceptionally beautiful, isn't she?
Yeah, the cat's real cute. Yes, that's true, but personally, it's a little black creature she's holding that's caught my eye. Maybe we better take a closer look at this. Oh shoot, we can actually present either. Well, if I can choose both. That must be a stage costume she's wearing.
It's quite stunning. I should like to have something like that.
And she's wearing the 20,000 rubles on her head as well, look.
It's called a tiara, Naruhodo-san, and you shouldn't think of it purely in terms of its value.
She must be a strong-willed woman. To turn her back on the world stage and run away all on her own.
Yes!
Clearly it's you yourself. Oh my god, her only friend is herself. Considering the fact that you ran away from your homeland on your own, maybe you don't have any friends. Maybe your only friend is yourself. You have no friends at the moment except yourself. I was joking. Oh no. I mean, it's not my intention to make you feel bad. Oh god. That is hilarious. Ryunosuke straight up said this girl has no friends. Holy shit. What a legend. Okay. Little kitty. Wait. No, I'm not talking about you, Tiger. Look at the little cat Miss Pavlova is cuddling here. Oh, what a cute little kitten. It could vie with you, couldn't it, Naruto-san, for the blackest outfit? You know, you're not wrong. Ryunosuke, we should find that cat and steal it for ourselves. A black kitten. From the look of this picture, at least, Miss Pavlova seems very attached to it. And present.
Yes!
Without doubt, your friend is the little kitten we see before us. Yes, the scratch on the back of your hand makes that abundantly clear.
Oh no. Oh no.
The whereabouts of this black kitten isn't clear, but what is clear is that you brought this animal with you when you ran away, didn't you?
Ah! Daka is my best friend. I couldn't leave her behind.
Daka would appear to be a Russian blue. And yet, that fact had left us in a quandary. The victim's written observations on the night in question tell of a speckled band. Whereas, regrettably, the specimen's markings do not fit that description in any way. What explanation can we then give, pray? What was this sight that fell upon the victim's eyes last night?
Don't look at me. This has nothing to do with any of this.
Oh, but it does. You have the answer to this quandary even now, hidden behind your back. Yes, that's what you are trying but failing to conceal. Can only be the snake's slow skin.
Did you see that? She just took something out of her pocket and hid it behind her back.
If she's just... if she just left it in her pocket, no one would have ever known.
Oh yes, plays like that are Mr. Shulm's specialty. He's ever so cleverly forced her to reveal something.
I thought deduction was a specialty. Or maybe making me believe that was a ploy too.
Anyway, I find it hard to believe that that's the skin of a snake.
In which case, just what is Miss Pavlova hiding behind her back? Good question. Whoa. Oh, I actually can present her ears. That's kind of whack. Okay, so this stuff's the same. Wow, does she have a single strand of hair? Is that her... Or is that, like, her face that has, like... You see that to the right of the ear? Like, to the right of her ear and behind her... Like, you know... You see that line that goes down and then... I don't know what that is. It's kind of weird. Kind of whack. Slows... Yeah, I don't think that's what it is. Well, it is speckled and it is a band, but... What is it? It seems to be soft and fluffy, a long piece of cloth of some sort. It's a kitty toy. That looks like a handle at one end.
I think it may be a cat's toy. This sort is common in the West, apparently.
How is that a toy for cats?
Cats like to chase the band around and paw at it. Kittens in particular love that sort of play. You only need to wave it in front of them and they pounce to catch it. Kittens are so adorable. Cats in general. That sounds positively adorable. I know, right? Why am I Ryunosuke? Then again, I guess most people love cats. Cat's toy. That's cool. So it actually changes the name of it if you examine it properly. What happens if I examine it now that the name has changed? Okay, never mind. It's just the same. I thought it would be different somehow for some reason.
Yes!
Yes, the thing you are trying but failing to conceal is a cat's toy. Precisely, the true nature of the now infamous speckled band. Ah! And it was this toy that you dangled through the ventilator. You waved it around, I presume. Naturally, the victim could not fail to notice it. Oh my gosh, I think I just got it. Okay, so, she was waving it around. Why do you think that would be? The cat probably went, the kitten probably went into the ventilator against her will, like she wasn't planning on it. And then she tried to use the cat toy in order to dangle it and lure it back. She was trying to get the cat back over. But why? For what reason? What I just said, clearly. My dear boy, there can be only one answer to that. After her feline friend disappeared through the ventilator into the neighboring cabin, Miss Pavlova attempted to use the speckled cat toy to incite the creature to return. Yeah. Shoot, I actually got it. Ah. I mean, I guess that was kind of obvious if they'd said it right then. In summary, the nature of this friend of Miss Pavlova's, which last night infiltrated the scene of the crime, is none other than a blithesome Russian blue breed of cat by the name of Daka. A truly troublesome feline young Daka is proving to be. She must be caged once found. You will forgive us for borrowing the photograph of your pet, Miss Pavlova. I hope the kitty's okay. Pavlova and Darka photograph. We got it as evidence. A photograph of Miss Pavlova and her friend, a kitten named Darka. The tiara she would wear on stage can also be seen. Interesting. It was after I gave her food last night. That's when it happened. She scratched the back of my hand and then ran up the bell cord. Before I could do anything, she had disappeared through the ventilator. I have no idea what this accent is, sorry. Daka, she is so naughty. A beloved kitten. Topic 1 solved. Moving on. We almost are 50 minutes into this recording. I might just need to stop soon, but I have to find a good place to end it, and I should find one pretty soon. What Mr. Sholmes says is true. There were no signs of a wound anywhere on Kazuma-sama's body. That's right. But Mr. Sholmes seemed to be unaware of one very important detail. Kazuma wasn't poisoned. Yes, it would seem so. Let's give him the information he's missing in the next one. Next time on Great Ace Attorney, we'll figure out the truth of the case. Adios, ciao, and bye-bye. Signing off until next time. Ja, mata ne.